would love for us to move the conversation to a few quick fire questions, another opportunity for us to get to know you a little bit better. Now, I would love to take you back to 2018. And of course, that was the Commonwealth Games where you won a bronze medal as well. But you made your debut in 2014 at the Commonwealth Games. What was the difference between these two massive events?
Well, if I think on the top of my head, the major difference was the medal. No, I'm just teasing. Yeah, I think as you grow as an athlete, you become a bit more mature in setting goals, what you would like to achieve, going into championships, a bit more content. So yeah, it's still today, it's not something I can properly explain in words, but my preparation towards the Commonwealth Games was something that I've done, and just my whole being as an athlete and a person was so much different. Why so? I can't really explain, but I just had the mindset of I was so at peace with whatever the outcome will be. I had this goal, and I believed so much in it that for the first time in my career, I actually didn't allow any doubts in my mind. It was kind of, yeah, like I said, I was so content with what I wanted to achieve with that specific championships that, and at the end of the day, obviously, I aim for gold. We all do that. But just the whole journey was actually more of a success story for me individually than the bronze medal. But yeah, it's the bronze medal is a nice memorabilia to look to and be reminded of the journey, because it was so close, and I would have been fourth. So it can go anyway. So yeah, I was just so grateful that I could have been in such a mind space with regards to my preparation. I went into that year with no sponsorship. I had an injury over the December holidays, and I was just so at peace. Nothing could faze me, if I could say it like that. And so often I will think back on that kind of experience and like, oh, I want that feeling back. But like I said earlier, we shouldn't dwell too much in the past, eh? There's new lessons to be learned as we go through our journey. But yeah, I think that was definitely one of the major differences. 2014, I put a lot of pressure on myself, because there I thought on paper I should be on the podium. There's no doubt about it. And yeah, and then I just went out and messed up my final race, unfortunately. And yeah, so you learn from the experiences. And yeah, I think I just enjoyed the 2018 one so much, and I think that contributed a lot.
Definitely. Let's talk a little bit about your training group, or the group that you are part of at the moment. Of course, the title of the group is called Grigora Training Group, and you're working with a gentleman by the name of Hennie Kriel. I would love for us to talk a little bit about the importance of his role in your journey.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was my coach going into the 2018 Commonwealth Games. I started with him at the end of 2016. So that was kind of my goal and focus when I sat down with him. I'm like, I would really want to perform at the 2018 Commonwealth Games. I think for us South Africans, it's quite, it was at in the middle of April. So it was kind of in our season. So it could count to our advantage at that stage. So yeah, so we from the end of 2016, that was kind of our goal. And yeah, since the first day I've joined the training group, it was a bit daunting. He's a very committed, positive, forward-driven person, a wise man, full of knowledge. He will always share a bit of his wisdom every day at the track, and yeah, I can just see how the young athletes, they just light up listening to him. He's a great storyteller. So yeah, he just brings that type of positive culture to the group that's so, how can I say, like the athletes adopt that and they cultivate that in their own lives. So it's not just a matter of motivating them at the track with the training. It overflows into their personal lives, and we've had such an incredible culture there at the group, that no matter when you're down, when you don't have a great time, when you have a bit of a fight with the coach or struggle with the coach, his one rule is, and he sticks to that: you greet when you come to the track and you greet when you leave. And that type of culture is just it just shows a bit of respect amongst the group, the athletes. Yeah, so we are friendly, we are positive, we try to motivate each other. So yeah, that's just, I was actually thinking about, I mean, we all have our weaknesses, so I am allowed to not just say positive things about him. Yeah, but we often tease that, yeah, sometimes he can be a handful, but then he will say the same about me. So I think we're even. Yeah, so no, I have enormous respect for Hennie. He just have that input in my life that carries over far more than just being an athlete on the track. There's a lot of things we disagree on, but it challenges me to think more and to question more what I do. So I really like that, because yeah, I've always just kind of been this person going with the flow. Yeah, just, oh well, is this how we do it? Then I adopted that. So yeah, it's really nice. I enjoy being part of the group. I am the older one, so I'm excited to see how the young athletes and the younger generation will build onto the Grigora culture.
Definitely. Let's talk a little bit about some of the venues that you've had the opportunity to run at. I mean, both locally and internationally. Tell me about the one that truly stands out for you and the one that really put those goosebumps on your skin.
There's so many, but yeah, I always have this, not go-to answers, but yeah, if there's only just one I'm allowed to choose, then I would say London, the Queen Elizabeth Stadium. It's, yeah, the support and the just the spectators coming out to events like, yeah, when it's held at the London Stadium. I've had a few Diamond Leagues there, and then also the 2017 World Championships. But yeah, just stepping onto that track, there's a vibe that I can't really explain. From the stands, the track itself is a beautiful stadium. I've run some pretty nice times there, so it's always great memories. But yeah, that's the one that I will pick. But yeah, I must say there's quite a few others as well. I can only say one: London.
All right, absolutely beautiful. I would like for us to talk about your meals. Take us maybe through some of the things that you eat before training and after training. And hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
There was just like a noise in the background there.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Sorry. No problem. It's fine. I'll just ask it again.
okay.
I would like for us to now talk about the meals that you actually eat before and after a training session. What meals do you eat? But also, maybe you can give us a list of 3 items that are a must for you when you go to the training ground.
Ooh. Yeah, like I've mentioned earlier, I am a qualified dietitian. I'm not practicing full time, so I am a big foodie. I like variety. So I must say there's not really just one before and after meal that I stick to, but some of my go-to things that I like to have before training. Um, I love Future Life. Just a disclaimer, this is not an ad. I really do like the product. Yeah, it's convenient. I feel filled with energy. It especially the high protein one, I often use as a high protein shake. So that will also then can also be sometimes be after training, a post training meal. But then also just my normal go to things like a banana, nuts, Often I will come directly home after training, so then I will prepare a proper meal, like maybe with some eggs, or make a nice wrap, chicken, tuna, whatever wrap, whatever I can find in the fridge type of thing. I'm not too fussy with food, so I eat a variety and I eat more or less everything. So yeah, whatever I have, kind of thing. Other pre-training meals, I like my oats. Sometimes I will have eggs before, depending on the session. A smoothie, a nice high protein smoothie. Sometimes when I'm maybe rushing after track somewhere, then I will have like a banana and maybe a bar. Like, again, my go-to is Future Life bars, but it can be anything. That's more or less my kind of go-to things. There will then also definitely always be almost always, if I remember, a banana or a bar in my training bag. Or anything to chew on, just for in case I feel hungry or I forgot to pack anything, or then definitely my spikes or my running shoes. That's the one thing I will not go without to the track. Sunscreen is quite important. It can get hot out there. And then I have just my normal things like my roller balls, my bands, things that I use to within my warm-up. And my water bottle, definitely. Hydration is key. So that's more or less some of the most important things in my bag. But I do have a lot of things. My fellow athletes will always joke and ask me, what do you have in your bag? It's so full and so heavy. But I'm prepared for any situation. So there's a rain jacket, long ties, dry clothes, anything. So I need to be prepared.
Definitely. I absolutely love that. You always have to stay prepared.
You're locked onto the Sport MVT Insider, a podcast for unrelenting coverage of women in sport. Coming up this Friday, our athletes, coaches, and administrators answer the questions that you have always wondered about. If you haven't sent through your questions yet, just slide into our DMs, tell us your name, where you're from, and leave your questions, and we will make sure that we ask them. Keep it locked onto Sport MVT, where we celebrate women in sport.